Hello guys, it's hump day, Wednesday. A little warm here down south. My car, it was 91 degrees when I got in my car today. You would not know that it was March. Okay, I decided to try another one of my naked wines. I explained in another video how Naked Wines is an unusual wine club in that they have individual growers who are new to the field of growing wines, and they have limited resources and funding. So Naked Wines supports these wineries and winemakers. And while you're not going to have $100 bottle of wine here, but some of these are amazing. This one was probably maybe I don't even know, because I get a discount being an angel for the Naked Wines. Once you get on the club, you have a discount. So I'd say this probably drinks close to maybe a $25, $30 Pinot, maybe. It's a Pinot. A little warm, so not ready for rosé yet. So I'm gonna try a Pinot. And this is by one of the winemakers that I like. I think it's spelled Ondine Chattan. I have no idea. Honestly, I don't. Ondine Chattan. Your guess is as good as mine. Not sure. Anyway, it is a Russian River Valley, Sonoma County, which Sonoma has some very, very nice wines and Pinots. Pinots are something I only started to enjoy maybe 3 or 4 years ago. At first, when I tried them, I was not too thrilled about it. It's a 2017, which is good because it's 2020 now, so it's got a couple of years on it. What's really, really awesome is it's 14.2% alcohol, because you know I care about that shit, okay? I care about it. So, the I poured it with my aerator, my little robot aerator. Helps to get those bubbles aerating and swishing it around, kind of like you would swish in your mouth, kind of get it aerated. There's lots of different ways you could do that, but it's very convenient to have it done that way. You could leave it open for a while in the glass and let it open a little bit more. I poured this a few minutes ago. I think it's going to be fine. Look at this beautiful color. I love Pinots that are not necessarily see-through, although I'm sure there's a time and a place, and hell, maybe 5 years from now I might actually enjoy that. But now these are my preferred Pinot, where there's still a little bit of a darkness in there, kind of a cherry looking kind of thing going on, but has that beautiful raspberry, beautiful raspberry color. Oh gosh, okay. It's been probably a month or so since I've had I'll actually let this one sit in my wine fridge for a while, so yay me. I hardly ever do that. I'm just impatient and I drink a lot of wine. So this one smells like violets, a little bit like violets. That excites me because, besides being one of my favorites, a floral is a good smell for me. That's a good indication that I'm probably going to really enjoy this wine. It won't be something that's going to be in your face or very strong and heavy, but that is a Pinot. Pinot is not going to be those things. So swish it around about 6 times or so. Smell it. Oh my gosh, so good, so good. Raspberry, violet-y kind of thing. Let's just taste it. Shit, let's go ahead for it. Go ahead for it, whatever. Wow, okay. It's been a while since I've had this one. The finish is really good there. I gave it some time to sit around in my mouth and on my palates and roll over all those taste buds that it's going to roll over. I don't know the technical terms, but I know that first sip makes a big difference, because it's what you're going to determine this wine, whether you deem it drinkable or enjoyable. And that first sip does a lot. Of course, the glass can it can open up a little bit. The wine can open in your glass, and it may taste a little bit differently. It might get subtle, a little more subtle. Right now, I am digging the shit out of this. I am digging this. This is so good. I mean, this is good enough for me. I think if they have this vintage still available, I would get a case. That's how good. That's how good, and it's budget friendly. So it's a daily. I can drink this during the week. You know, not have no special occasions, and other than the fact that it's fucking good, and that's pretty special. I'm enjoying this, and I needed a really good wine today. Depends on when you guys watch this, but I'm a little bit not as bubbly and bouncy as I usually am. I'm kind of tired. The COVID-19 virus has been in our country since December, the end of December, and we only found out about it around, I guess, February, early February. I don't know. These things are happening so quickly for us here. Louisiana's being hit hard. We had Mardi Gras come and go, and many thousands and thousands and thousands of people from all over the world came here to celebrate in our beautiful city of New Orleans and our festive activities. And of course, we're close together and probably have a little bit more alcohol than they should have, and hanging on each other. Who knows? I mean, it's New Orleans. There's a lot of shit goes on, but it doesn't take much to get one person infected, and that person visits other people, and so forth and so on, and it just grows from there. So it's been quite a bit of cases, harrowing discoveries. So I found out today something that I suspected was going on. My mom, who passed away January 21st or 2nd, I'm terrible with numbers. I don't dwell on those things, but she was in a hospital in Jefferson Parish, in Jefferson City, Jefferson Highway, in Jefferson Healthcare, in the New Orleans area. She was in a home. She had only been there maybe maybe 3 months. She was home with me for, actually the other way around. I was here in her home, and she finally just had to go into someone who can be there for her 24/7. She had Alzheimer's, and she was actually feeling great, very good shape, probably the best health-wise that she's been in that I can remember. Moving around, walking around, but just her mind, it was Alzheimer's had paid its toll on her for the last 10 years. Last time we saw her, she was fabulous. She looked great. She was cutting up with us, and her spirits were there. She may have had a cough. I don't remember, because Mom was always sick off and on, but I don't think it was anything serious. So we get a call from the hospital. No, we didn't get. Yes, we did. A hospital. She was in the hospital for a day and a half before we found out. She was at Ochsner's in Jefferson. So I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but she was experiencing pneumonia-like symptoms out of nowhere. Couldn't breathe at all. I mean, from what I understand, they worked on her for an hour. I mean, for a whole day. I meant to say a whole day and a half, nonstop. The teams worked on her. Now, my mom was 85, okay, 85. But in relatively good shape. This knocked her to the ground. This knocked her just, there was no way for her to fight back. No way. She was on oxygen, but she did sign a do not resuscitate. Her and my dad both did. So they could not intubate or do anything else. That was her wishes from 15, 20 years ago. It was a long time ago. And she donated her body to science, which my dad did as well. So she's in the hospital, and she could barely breathe, and we were able to go tell her goodbye and talk to her, and she was very short of breath, but she knew who we were at that moment, as did my dad days before he passed as well. So the x-ray they took of her lungs, I was able to see it. It was not explained in a very convincing manner that they knew exactly what it was. It was probably like, well, she's old. No one knew about the coronavirus then. No one knew about COVID-19. And according to, the world, it didn't exist here in America yet because we didn't know. We were not told. So she was gasping for air, and toward the end, she just could not breathe anymore. She just stopped breathing, and her heart stopped. So that's what got her. When the doctor that was on duty there tried to explain her x-ray, it was disturbing enough to me that I pulled out my phone and I took a picture of the x-ray. That's how disturbing it was. Like the explanation, or the lack of the explanation of what exactly had happened to her, was non-existent. It was just like, it could be pneumonia. It looks like pneumonia, but it's probably not pneumonia because it doesn't really seem like it is. It doesn't seem like she's got fluid, but it could be fluid. It's probably a bacteria. That's literally, and it's not their fault. The physicians were dealing with what they had to work with, and had not seen whatever this was on her x-ray before. Probably no one had seen that at that hospital before, if not in New Orleans. Who knows? I've said this from the beginning. My mom had to have been one of the first people to get contact with this virus, and to contract it, and to perish from it. Now, she came from a nursing home, so it's people are visiting. There's workers, and I hope that they're all well and their families are all well, because once these things happen, it spreads, and it can spread. Found out today that 60 healthcare workers from that hospital my mom passed away from tested positive. 60. No one had masks or gloves, or she was an old, frail, sweet woman, and hugs and kisses from us. And the workers, they were so loving and kind. They took care of her. They were in her face, fixing her mask and getting her situated, because she was in very much pain, and she really couldn't breathe, and she wouldn't keep still. So they had to strap her down, her arms down, because she's a feisty little woman. She's Cajun, okay? We're feisty bitches. I'm just saying, we're feisty. She wanted to get out. She was trying to get the hell out of that bed and out of that hospital. So you can imagine the workers there were trying to restrain her for her own safety. It really upsets me that some of those loving people who cared for her may have gotten this horrible virus from her unintentionally. And I'm fine. I apparently was able to get through this pretty well, and I don't have any symptoms, or never felt bad. However, my sister and her son ran fever the last couple of weeks, for 2 weeks. Fever, had a hard time breathing, and they're on the good side now. Apparently it was a mild case, both of them, thank God, but they weren't tested because they would not test them. They didn't have enough testing kits to test them. So that's only one person. One person. It goes on and on. I have to show up for work every day because I'm essential. My company is essential. I work for an industrial sales corporation. My son is working side by side, making food and preparing meals for people because he's essential and he has to go to work because he's supplying food. There's not a lot of food. Restaurants are closed, and grocery stores are running out of things as soon as you can get them. And so they're providing a service that's needed. I feel bad for the people who are out there who would rather be home. Schools are closed. We do have employees who are working from home. They have their computers set up, laptops, and they're able to work from home. I can't, however. I have a switchboard that I answer, and not possible. So we're not on lockdown as far as, you know, martial law or whatever. So I have to show up for work if I want to get paid, if I don't want to lose my job. And I do take my job seriously, but I also, I don't want anyone to get sick. I don't want myself to get sick. I don't want my son to get sick. I don't want this to happen to so many other people. Things have got to change. People have got to stop being stupid and going out in public with lots and lots of people and hanging out and partying. And, you know, party at home. Have a glass. You know, if you're married, you and your husband, you and your wife, you and whoever, get together and y'all have toast to life and to being safe. Enjoy your family. Enjoy nature. Do those things you've put off forever. You know, get things done around the home. I would give anything to be home and to be able to possibly not get sick again, because they don't know if you can catch this and then catch it again. And I would love to be able to do some things around the house and in a positive way, have it a positive thing, and then hopefully not for very long, but long enough for this thing to get phased out. And it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take more time than I think we are willing to give for this to vanish. So anyway, I didn't plan on talking about this today, but I had just read this, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. That's not me, but I'm still mourning my mom. I'm still mourning her, and so occasionally, you know, I kind of tear up a little bit, get a little sad. So anyway, there's beautiful, wonderful things out there to be thankful for. I am thankful that I have a job. I'm thankful that I have a good job and a great company. And I think we're going to be okay. We're taking precautions. We're more than 6 feet apart. We're spacing everyone out, and we're sanitizing everything. And visitors have to go through strenuous, you know, I mean, you have to take precautions, and hopefully that's going to be enough to not have this thing spread any further here. So I can smell this the whole time I'm talking. It's a violet raspberry and it's just absolutely fabulous. It's wonderful. This one can hold its own, I believe, to Pinots that are out there that have a superior branding and a higher price tag even. It's a bright fruit, but it's not too bright to where it's off-putting for me, because I'm not crazy about the really pungent, like, I don't know, not pungent, but tart bright fruit. I'm not crazy about that. So this to me is a recommendation. And if you got through all that bullshit I just like said it all and just let it all come out, I apologize. Not my intention, but awareness awareness is key here. So be safe, people. Enjoy a nice beverage. If you can't have wine, have lemonade. Lemon's good for you in allergy season. And hopefully everyone's going to honor the elderly and the sickly and the young, and just anyone who may come in contact with this. Honor them, and stay home if you can. Stay home. Don't go to places needlessly and possibly infect someone when you don't know you're sick and you could be carrying this. So I want to live to see another day, another year, another decade. I got a lot of fucking wine to drink. I still have so much wine yet to drink and to try. So you guys have a lovely afternoon. Cheers.